guidance.
Oh boy. Alright guys, we're back on the L&N bridge. And we're using that same little weedless shrimp that we've been discussing in the last few episodes, but we're also using our new prototype of an open face jig head on a shrimp here. This is going to be a bad dude when it comes out. Been doing a lot of research and development on this, and it is fabulous on the drop shot. We back at L&N here, so we got one almost right at the keeper size. I have to put him on the tape, and we've been having a abnormally warm autumn, so we had a little bit of a crisp cold front come through, started catching some in the shallows, but now it's gotten hot again, and we're still on schoolies in the deep water. That is specky. Another one that's pretty close. Definitely need to tape measure right now as we get into that October season. We're fishing this deep water, but this one's close. I'm gonna let him go, but let me just show you L&N in a nutshell. So go ahead and pan the camera that way. All of that way by them square pylons, that's all anywhere from 8 to 15 foot deep. And then as you line up with this guy behind me, that's where your ledge marker's at. And from here, that way, it runs from 15 to like 30 real quick. And as you get to the middle, it can get all the way up to like 50, 55. So typically, some of your best spots is right where that shallower 15 water ledges down to the 15. So where that boat is behind me, that's probably one of the best spots, you know, real close to the bridge. But instead of going and crowding him, I'm just gonna get off the bridge and just line up with it, because a lot of times it's not the bridge that's holding the fish, it's just this ledge. And as this is obviously where the Wrigley's pass is hitting Lake Bourne, so that's just a great funnel zone, and this is a really good area on a falling tide, which we had this morning. And a falling tide, we're naturally gonna have it where, are they pecking at me down there? Where the tide's coming from the Wrigley's and shooting out towards the Lake Bourne to the Gulf of Mexico. And a nice light falling tide is your best situation here. And that's why we stopped here this morning, because that's exactly what we have. But there's a lot of good spots on this bridge, you know, and just moving over 10 feet can make all the difference in the world. There's a little white trout there. Could keep him if we wanted to, but I'm gonna let him go too. But this is just the little brown weedless shrimp in this new prototype. These are great products to drop shot in this deep water. Especially, you know, when there's a lot of school trout and a lot of throwbacks like you're gonna be dealing with right now. Live shrimp can get mighty costly, and this thing does a very good job of mimicking a shrimp on the bottom down there. And I just let that big weight get down. I'm probably casting at about 25 foot, maybe 30 right here. And I'm kind of working it up the ledge. And I'm really just doing light little jiggles of the line, almost keeping the weight on the bottom and just wiggling that shrimp right above it. It's kind of pulling it against the current, letting the current pull the bait away from me, and it's making that little fat tail flip up and down. But we're gonna have to find a little bit bigger fish than this. Got him playing with me again right now. Playing with me again. Is that him? Yep. Oh, is he even on it? Golly, they're small. Look at this thing, guys. Rascals. Oh, spitting up shrimp. But rascals. Little bitty fellers. Alright, we'll see if we can catch some bigger ones. Look at him. That's a keeper, baby. That's a keeper. Cheaper to keeper. You're just gonna have to weed through them here, guys. Got a few months before this comes out, but you guys are gonna love it when it does. Because it's really gonna help you when you fish it under a cork. And them shrimp around are also deep water where you can drop shot it. Awesome bait. That's a good one there. That's a good one. That's why you gotta just keep sliding around out here. You know, just moving 10 feet can make all the difference in the world. Just because you're not catching them 20 yards that way, just slide over. It's all ledges out here. And we've been catching them all morning, but they've been pretty small. I moved over more under the bridge. Got us a good one. Beautiful, beautiful fish. There we go, baby. Putting a little box together. Putting a little box together. Keeper white trout. So sometimes the fish will get way off where we were, and there was plenty of fish there. Right where I'm at here is one of the sweet spots, and ever since I moved here, everything grew up, even the white trout. Got a few good speckled trout. So we're gonna keep working it right here and see what we can do. But we're just working that ridge from 15 to 30 foot. All right, as you can see, I got the wooden fenders behind me now. This is a great little area to try whenever the tide. Whenever the tide's at a real slow pace, and that's what we have right now. Still weeding through throwbacks, and getting a little bit of everything. Right now the keeper ratio is probably 4 throwbacks every keeper, but normally I would move and look around for something a little better, but that's all I've really been finding lately. So we're gonna just stay with it with doing this today. But all of these wooden fenders in this channel, so behind me it goes down to like 50, 55 feet. But right here by this wood, it elevates back up to 30. They use all of this wood as cover. This is a great little area too to target on. Another one. Kind of small right here on these fenders, but we have some really good days here with a lot of keepers. Oh, missed that one. But you can see what the fish are doing. You see the tides falling right there on the wooden fender. You can see the water breaking around it. And those fish will just use anything out here on this bridge to help create eddies. So that just breaks that current down a little bit, and it makes it easier for them to just relax in the water and let the bait come to them. They also like to use them big concrete cylinders that support the bridge. And there's one. Right now we're on a big wad of schoolies here, and they're in this eddy right behind the wooden fender. But I could see a bunch of little glass minnows getting sprayed right here behind the wooden fenders too. So I know there's a lot of life right back here. But unfortunately, the life we got going on behind the fenders right now, we're not really getting any keepers right here behind these fenders. So I'll make one more cast and we're gonna have to slide around, see if we can find some more keepers. I'm just throwing it right in that current's coming through the channel here, and there's a little bit of a break, a little bit closer to the boat. And like I've been saying, when I'm drop shotting, I like to work it against the current. Because what happens, so this little lure's got that fat paddle tail, just like that brown one we've been using. And when you pull it against the current, the friction of the current going away from the boat keeps that tail in motion. You can almost just hold it in the tide and that lure's just gonna wiggle. There we go. There we go. Another good one. So now I just moved to the southern side of the channel. And I'll just look at my depth finder. I want to fish anything from 20 to 30 foot, maybe 40 at the most. Anything over 40 is getting a little ridiculous, but I just made my first cast right here behind this concrete pillar. Again, this is like 30, 35 foot, which is very hard to get to the bottom, but what that pillar does is it makes an eddy to where you can get this drop shot down and get a nice trout like that. That'll be hiding right behind it in the current. Switch it to what we do have for sale right now. As that lure we've been using, that's a prototype that'll be coming out soon. This is our matrix shrimp. This is our weedless version of it. So the lure I've been showing y'all, pretty similar to this. The key is the stretchy plastic and the big fat tail. That's the key. Now this is the weedless version. That way, if you want to take this sight fishing for reds, or sometimes we catch some sheephead on it, it's good for that. And it's good for this too, but when that new shrimp comes out, that's gonna be the money. So let's get this on. Let me show you how we're rigging it. Got the bank sinker, just tied an overhand knot, left a little loophole right there. I'm gonna go right through the eyelet, same thing we were doing with that other one. I'm just gonna take that access loop, go over the shrimp, pull it tight. Let's get his little whiskers out of there, make him look natural. There we go. And we're just gonna drop it down where we caught that nice one. See if he's got some friends with him. And it's the same, basically the same lure, except for the other one's a little bigger and it's got an exposed hook, because you don't really need to be weedless right here. But for now, if you want to try this technique, this lure works really, really well also. What a nice little trout. Oh, and I missed him at the boat. Missed him at the boat. Missed him, missed him, missed him, missed him, missed him at the boat. Get it right back in that current. Yeah, Betsy, 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 Betsy. Oh boy. Where are you? Oh, I thought I had a shot at a trout, but that shot has just went away. We into the reds. Just missed the trout. Oh my goodness. He is cooking. Boy, they can really go to war with you. With this current, make it mighty tough. got me wrapped. Wrap me up on something right here. Okay. Oh well. It's over. Not this time. And what we got? What we got? Oh, come on out. Come on out. So we had a few of them reds break us off. They got a snag right here in the middle, right off of where we've been hooking them reds. So I switched over to, I only have so many of them prototypes left, so I switched to that mini shrimp we've been using. It came and kind of vertical jigged it near that snag, and bam, decent little trout right here. Another keeper for the box, baby. Another keeper for the box. Alright guys, we switched to that weedless shrimp. We starting to get on a little run of speckies here. A little run of speckies. Yeah, buddy. That's a good one. That's a good one. And what happens with that weedless shrimp is, you know, it just runs up the line. You just simply push it back down and get your shrimp back in place once you get the fish off. This is a beautiful morning on L&N. Working that nice falling tide right before the cool weather gets here. Water temperatures are still in the mid-80s. It's been one heck of a hot little autumn. As soon as them water temperatures fall, we'll get out of this deep water. I mean, as soon as them water temperatures start to fall, we'll get out of this deep water and start having some fun in the shallows with corks and jerk baits and such. But right now, drop shotting is the way to go when that water temperature's over 80. Come on up, baby. Got him on a roll. Got him on a roll. Little matrix shrimp, the little paddle tail. Yeah, baby. That's something big, larger than charge down there. On this little bitty squimps. Hopefully this is a red. I don't know what this is. He ain't little. He's hanging out there, down there with them trouts. It's pulling us out away from the bridge with the current. But the good news is we've caught fish in many different places on L&N today. I hate when it's just one spot holding fish, because this place can get mighty crowded, but when the fish are spreading out, it's a really cool place to fish, as there's a good 10 or 12 quality spots to fish on here if they just spread out. And it looks like we ran into some redfish here. Alright, who said little baits can't catch big fish? That little bitty shrimp right there, that's 2.75 inches. And this red's about 30 inches. Let me get him back in. Ooh. Splashy Magoo there. But, alright, so in this month's bait box, you guys will be getting some more of these weedless matrix shrimps, as that's all we have right now. But we have been diligently testing the new matrix shrimp that'll be coming out soon. And let me tell you, that one is a bad boy. But this one will get you through until that one comes out. But I hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. Fishing outlet in, kind of showed you guys different places, different ways to fish it. But for the most part, you're looking for 15 to 30, 35 foot of water, and try to hit it on slow tide days and when the tide's changing. And falling tide is somewhat the best. So subscribe to the monthly bait box, get some of these little fellers. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, as we have plenty of deep water Wrigley's episodes. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and until next time, good fishing.